Welcome back. All right, so we got 7 games to review tonight. If you're looking for the review of the first 3 games, that's already on the channel, so you can find that. All right, so let's go ahead and start things off looking at Buffalo and Florida, two teams that are clearly going in different directions here. Luukkonen versus Vanecek. Vanecek's debut with Florida might have a little bit better defense in Florida than what he had in San Jose. Early press by Florida. In fact, the shots are 3-1 for the Panthers at 4 minutes. Pressed by the Florida Panthers at 5.5 minutes, and at 7:20, Greer puts one through Luukkonen to get the opening goal. Schmidt and Kulikov with the assists. It's 1-0 Florida. Verhaeghe has a rush chance that's defended. Krebs then has a breakaway chance that's saved, but Buffalo draws a power play on that. That is killed off. Bennett has a rush chance that's held. Quinn has a net feed that's picked off. Panthers rush the other way. Pressed by Florida with 4 minutes left. Jones has a rush chance that's held. The Panthers press in the final minute. It's 1-0 Florida after 1. Second period. Early jump for Buffalo. We get a post for Tuck on a rush. Good forechecking by Florida. Shots, though, are 4-2 for the Sabres at 5 minutes. Greer has a rush chance that's held. The Panthers press at 7.5 minutes. A net feed to Bennett. Near miss there. And then at 9:32, Verhaeghe puts one past a screen during some more pressure by Florida. Barkov and Reinhart with the assists. It's 2-0 for Florida. Sabres press to respond. Tuck can't bury one in close. Puck's cleared out. McLeod's denied on a rush. The shots are 9-8 Buffalo with 6.5 minutes left. Bennett's denied on a 2-0 break. And at 17:09, Lundell taps in a loose puck at the net. Schmidt and Boquist with the assists. It's 3-0 Florida after 2. Third period, Dunn has a fight with Greer. Sabres get a power play off that. Or shortly after that, power play's killed off. Shots are 2-0 Florida at 6 minutes. Panthers press at 7 minutes. Rodriguez to Bennett. There's a near miss there. Shots are 7-3 Florida with 7 minutes left. We get a power play for the Panthers. Jones has a screenshot that's held. That power play's killed off. Benson can't bury one on a breakaway. The goalie pull happens with more than 2 minutes left. And at 19:27, Bennett hits the empty net from Reinhart and Mikkola. It is a 4-0 win for Florida. They go to 40, 21-3 with the win. With the loss, Buffalo 24, 32, and 6. Shots on net favored Florida the entire way to the surprise of no one. 11-9 in the first, 13-9 in the second, 12-3 in the third. Final shots 36-21 in favor of Florida. Power plays Buffalo 0 for 2, Florida 0 for 1. The hits 29-19 for Florida. Luukkonen 32 saves on 35 shots. Vanecek gets a shutout in his first game with Florida. It's got to be a weird feeling for him. 21 saves on 21 shots. He has to feel great tonight. But yeah, Vanecek looked good in his debut. All right, next up. Toronto and Colorado. Stolars versus Blackwood. And 56 seconds in, Nichushkin gets the game started with a net feed that he tips in. Lindgren and Manson with the assists. So Ryan Lindgren on the board with a helper. But at 3:04, Marner goes far corner from the right circle to tie it. Nyes and Matthews with the assists. The shots are 3-2 Colorado at 5 minutes. At 6:08, Nichushkin gets his second goal of the game, of the first period. It's a wrister from the right circle. Nelson and Malinsky with the assists. So Brock Nelson gets a helper in his first game with Colorado. The Avs press at 7.5 minutes. We get 2 minutes of 4-on-4. Marner has a breakaway that's defended by Makar. Shots are 9-5 Colorado with 7.5 minutes left. But at 12:51 on a turnover, it is a goal by Tavares from the slot. Nylander with the assist ties the game at 2. And then at 16:04, Marner goes post and in to give Toronto the lead. McMahon and Matthews with the assists. So Matthews' point streak, I believe it's at 12 games now. The Avs press to respond, but Toronto's up 3-2 after the first. Second period, the Avs press at 1.5 minutes. We get a power play for Colorado. That's killed off. Shots are 3-0 Colorado at 5 minutes. The Avs go back to the power play. That's killed off. The Avs press at 9 minutes. The Leafs press with 9.5 minutes left. But the shots are 8-0 for Colorado with 8 minutes left. So Colorado playing pretty well here. And then there's a power play for Toronto, and they score on it. One of their few shots in that period. It is Tavares roofing one from the inner slot. Matthews and Nylander with the assists at 12:45. That's Matthews' second goal of the game. Holmberg has a rush chance that's held, and then at 15:11, also on a rush, Kiviranta goes 5-hole. The assist to Colton and Malinsky. Natchez then fires one wide on a rush. The Avs press in the final minute, but it's 4-3 Toronto after 2. Third period, the Avs press at 1.5 minutes. The teams trade turnovers. Shots are 2 apiece at 5 minutes. The Leafs press at 7 minutes. Riley to Nyes. There's a near miss there. Things get pushed in a hole by Blackwood. Shots are 7-2 Toronto with 9 minutes left. But at 11:55, Drouin buries a pass from behind the net. Coyle and Colton with the assists, so that ties the game at 4. The Leafs look to respond, but with 6:01 left, the Avs get a power play, and they score on it at 15:45. McKinnon goes far corner on a net drive from Necas and Taves. So now Toronto's down 5-4. They have to pull the goaltender, and when they do, Nichushkin hits the empty net for his first career hat trick. Lehkonen and Makar with the assists at 18:04. So it's a 2-goal lead, so now they pull the goaltender again. With 1:17 left, Toronto calls a timeout, but at 19:07, McKinnon hits the empty net for his 100th point of the season and his 999th point in his career. Nichushkin and Lehkonen with the assists. It is a 7-4 win for Colorado tonight. 80s Magnet on the board. Colorado goes to 38-24-2. With the loss, Toronto 38-22-3, and they lose ground on Florida with the results tonight. Shots on net, 14-8 Colorado in the first, 13-3 Colorado in the second, 10-7 Toronto in the third. Final shots 34-21 for Florida. Or for Colorado, I should say. Still got Florida on the brain. Power plays, Toronto scored on the only one they had. Colorado 1 for 3 on theirs. The hits, both teams had 23. Stolarz, 27 saves on 32 shots. Blackwood, 17 saves on 21 shots. All right, next up. Montreal and Calgary. So it's Dobesh versus Wolf in this one. Early press by Montreal. Sharon Govich has a tip shot that's held. The shots are 2-1 Calgary at 4 minutes. Coleman has a net feed that's blocked. Anderson has a turnover chance. That's blocked as well. The Habs get stuck on one shot for a while. Shots are 6-1 for Calgary halfway through the period. We get a power play for the Flames. That's killed off. Caulfield then has a wrister that's kicked aside. There's a near miss for Farabee from the slot. It's scoreless after the first. Second period, the Habs press at 1.5 minutes. Shots are 3-2 for Montreal, 3 minutes in. Anderson, and that's Rasmus Anderson, has a shot that's blockered aside. The Anderson in the first period, that's Josh Anderson. Single S for one, double S for the other. Lomberg's denied. The Habs rush. We get a power play for Montreal. That's killed off. Josh Anderson has a net drive chance that's held. There's some pushing there. Suzuki has a rush chance that's saved. Kadri's denied and close. Puck's cleared out. The Flames press with 6 minutes left. At 16:21, Farabee wires one short side from the right circle. Backlund and Weegar with the assists. It's 1-0 for Calgary. The Habs look to respond. There's a press by Montreal in the final minute, and they draw a power play with 16.1 seconds left. So it's 1-0 Calgary after 2. Montreal with the power play to start the third. The Flames do finish the kill to start the third. Habs press after it's done, but they don't get to the net. In fact, there's no shots on net for either team 3 minutes into the period. Coleman has a net drive chance that's blocked. Good forechecking by Montreal at this stage of the game. 6 minutes in, there's one shot on net, and it's Calgary. So defense is the name of the game in the third. Huberdeau can't bury one in close. Habs press at 7.5 minutes. The Flames block. Gallagher's denied in close by Wolf. Flames press with 7 minutes left. The Habs get some pressure with 4 minutes left. They pull the goaltender due, the Montreal Canadiens, with 2:36 left. They also call a timeout with 34.2 seconds left. They do not solve the goaltender. So that's 2 Tony the Tiger Magnets on the board in the first 3 games. Also HS Magnet, because this game had 3 goals or less in it with a 1-0 win for Calgary. Calgary goes to 30-23-10 with the win. With the loss, Montreal 30-27-6. Shots on net, 9-4 Calgary in the first, 12-10 Montreal in the second, 10-5 Montreal in the third. Final shots 26-24 for the Habs. Power plays, Montreal 0 for 2, Calgary 0 for 1. The hits 25-18 Montreal. Dobesh saves 23 out of 24. Another good game for him. Wolf, 26 saves for the shutout. It's a pretty good goaltender, that Wolf, I tell you. And they jump back into a playoff spot due to the Calgary Flames. All right, next up, last one on this board is Chicago and Nashville. So it's Soderblom versus Annunen. Shots are 4-0 Nashville at 2.5 minutes. Foligno has a tip shot that's saved. We get a power play for the Preds. Vrana making his debut with Nashville. He has a one-timer that's held. That power play is killed off. Shots are 10-2 for Nashville with 7 minutes left. At 7 minutes, I should say. There's a press by Nashville with 6 minutes left in the period. Evangelista has a tip shot that's held. There's some pushing there. Soderblom was the story of that first period. 17 saves to try to keep this one scoreless. As he does, we go to the second period. Teams trade early rushes. There's a near miss for Bedard on a rebound. And then at 1:56, Vlasic with one that goes off O'Reilly's stick and bounces into the net. Bedard and Doc with the assist. So now Bedard with a 2-game point streak. He seems to be heating up. We get a 4-minute power play for the Preds, and in the first 2 minutes of it at 2:36, Stamkos goes 5-hole from the left circle. Marchessault and Blankenberg with the assists, ties the game at 2. They do kill off the other half of it. In fact, with 5 seconds left and it becomes a 4-on-4, and then it's a Hawks power play. Everything gets killed off there. Shots are 6-3 Chicago at 8 minutes. There's a press by Nashville with 8 minutes left. And at 12:20, Stamkos scores from O'Reilly. And with that, he's now 23rd in goals. He passes Mike Bossy on the all-time goals list. Yeah, Stamkos is going to the Hall. 2-1 lead for Nashville at that point. We then get a power play for Chicago. That's killed off. Press by Nashville with 2 minutes left. With 1:48 left, though, the Hawks get a power play. So that runs to the end of the second period. Nashville still up 2-1. To start the third period, Nashville, of course, finishes killing those other 12 seconds. Bedard fans on a slot shot. Blankenberg has a chance that's blocked. The shots are 4-1 for Nashville 3 minutes in. Hawks score, but they're offside, and that was clearly offside. In fact, I said it out loud. I'm like, if they score here, it's offside. Sure was. Power play for Nashville, that's killed off. Shots are 6-1 for the Preds halfway through the period. But at 12:22, on a pass from behind the net, Mikheyev scores to tie the game. That's from Donato and Murphy. So Donato still with the team and producing. Cole Smith then has a rush chance that goes crossbar and out. There's a press by Nashville with 6 minutes left, but you could feel it. They were playing for a point. We go to overtime. The overtime, the Preds control early. Barron has a rush chance that's saved. And then at 2:39, Stamkos gets the hat trick winner. I believe it's his 14th career hat trick. The assist to Svechkov and Stastny. So the final score, 3-2 in overtime for Nashville. The Preds go to 24-32-7 with the win. With the loss, Chicago 20-35-9. They do get a point. They're close to 50 on the season. Shots on net, 17-6 Nashville in the first, 11-10 Chicago in the second, 12-2 Nashville in the third, and they had both shots in the overtime, including the shot that matters. Final shots, 41-19 Nashville. Power plays, Chicago 0-3. Nashville 1-4. The hits, 24-21 Nashville. Soderblom saved 38 out of 41, and Annunen saved 17 out of 19. Not busy, but he was effective. Let's go to the second board. All right, St. Louis and LA for the second time in a week. So it's Hofer versus Kemper, early power play for the Blues. The Blues score, but the review shows that it was not 100% in. It was so close. That was so ridiculously close. And then that's during the power play, so then the Kings finished the kill there. Big hits being thrown by the Kings early, but the shots, mostly for St. Louis, the shots are 4-1 for the Blues at 6 minutes. Pressure by St. Louis at 6.5 minutes. More pressure by them with 9 minutes left. Kings get stuck on one shot for a while here. Strong forechecking by the Blues. Broberg has a net feed that's picked off, and then at 14:35, the Kings get their second shot, and it goes in the net. Kopitar from Doughty and Anderson, and it's a tipped shot. It is completely against the flow of play. And that's the only goal in the first period. It's 1-0 LA. Second period, early press by the Blues. We get a power play for the Blues. Laferriere, guilty of goalie interference, only if you didn't see what happened. He was pushed into Binnington. So, at any rate, Holloway's denied, Kemper holds. That power play's killed off. The Kings score. Is it offside? Yes. So another goal comes off the board. The Blues press at 4 minutes. They're kept to the outside, however. Shots are 3-2 for the Kings at 5 minutes. Joseph has a wrister that's held. The Kings press at 8.5 minutes. Doughty's denied there. We get a power play for the Kings. That's killed off. Shots are 8-4 LA with 6 minutes left. The Blues press with 3 minutes left. Teams trade turnovers. There's some pressure by the Blues in the final minute. And with 6.9 seconds left, the Kings get a power play. So LA's up 1-0 after 2. They have a power play to start the third. During that power play to start the third, Kempe's denied on a one-timer, and that is the only shot on that power play. The Blues finish the kill. And then at 4:16, Leddy with his first of the season puts it past a screen. Neighbors and Bolduc with the assists. It's 1-1. Shots are 3 apiece at 5 minutes. Sundqvist is denied and close. The Blues press at 7 minutes. Kings press with 9 minutes left. The shots are 10-8 for LA with 6.5 minutes left. Kings get more pressure with 2 minutes left, but we're going to overtime. The Blues control early, but they turn it over, and at 27 seconds, Byfield scores from Kempe. He roofs it on a net drive. It's a 2-1 win for the LA Kings on Byfield's goal. The Kings go to 32-20-9 with the much-needed victory. With the overtime loss, the Blues 31-27-7 on the season. Shots on net, 7-2 LA, or 7-2 St. Louis in the first, 9-4 LA in the second, 11-9 LA in the third, and they had the only shot of the overtime. That's all they needed. Final shots, 23-20 for the Kings. Power plays, both teams go 0-2. The hits, 36-35 for LA. It was a heavy-hitting game. Hofer saves 21 out of 23, and Darcy Kemper, 19 saves on 20 shots. All right, next up. Dallas in Edmonton against the Oilers. Ottinger versus Skinner. Arvidsson, Kentberry won and close. The shots are 3-0 for the Oilers at 2.5 minutes. Dodonov is a net feed. That's held. We get a power play for Dallas, and they score on it. Johnston buries a rebound. Rope Hintz with the assist at 5:48. It's 1-0 for Dallas. McDavid nearly answers, and then he does. At 6:12, Hyman buries one with Ottinger down. It's Hyman's goal. It originally looked like it was McDavid's. McDavid with the assist, and Nurse with the secondary assist. Stars press at 9 minutes, but then at 12:26 on a fast break, Hyman scores to give the Oilers their first lead of the game at 2-1. Wallman with the assist there. So Jake Wallman gets on the board for Edmonton. It's kind of the fun thing about games at this time of year. After the trade deadline, seeing all these guys get on the board for their new teams. Lindell has a wrister that saved the Oilers' rush, but then at 17:42, Arvidsson scores from Bouchard and Draisaitl. That's goals on back-to-back shots for the Oilers, and it is a 3-1 lead for Edmonton after one. Second period. Dumba has a shot that deflects wide. More conservative second period than the first. Way less craziness in that second period. The Oilers press at 4 minutes. Lindell takes a puck to the knee. That looked like it hurt. Lone shot is for Dallas 4.5 minutes in. And then at 5:20, McDavid, he buries one backhand top shelf on a breakaway. So, yeah, you're not going to stop that. No goalie stopping that. Hyman and Nugent Hopkins with the assists. Although at that point, it was 4 goals on 9 shots for Ottinger. So, Jake probably not overly impressed with his stat line from tonight. We get a power play for Dallas. That's killed off. And then the scary incident, if you're a Dallas fan, Hintz took a puck to the face. He did not come back. So, I don't know what Hintz's status is going to be going forward, but it did not look good. I hope it's not as bad as it looked. So, that being said, shots are 3-1 for Dallas with 9.5 minutes left, showing how conservative it was. Shots picked up before the period was done. Granlund has a net drive that's saved, and then at 17:40, on a turnover rush, Connor Brown gets one. That's his first in a while, makes it 5-1, and that's your score after the second period. Third period, this is where they announced Hintz wouldn't return. Skinner denies Duchesne in close. The Oilers press at 2.5 minutes. We get a power play for Dallas, and they score on it. Rantanen with his first goal with Dallas. It's a one-timer on a good cycle. Duchesne and Harley with the assists at 5:05. And then at 5:16, Ben adds some tension to the game. He backhands one top shelf. Dodonov and Ceci with the assists. And then just to make things a little bit closer, Dumba gets his first of the season. He puts it in off Emberson. Granlund and Duchesne with the assists at 9:18. It is suddenly 5-4 in favor of the Oilers. There's a post for Hyman from the doorstep. He was looking for the hat trick. Goalie pull happens with 2:10 left. The Stars call a timeout with 37.3 seconds left. They do not tie the game. The Oilers finish this one with a 5-4 win. They go to 37-22-4 with the win. With the loss, Dallas 41-20-2 on the season. Shots on net, 8 apiece in the first, 9-7 Edmonton in the second, 11-10 Dallas in the third. Final shots 27-26 for Edmonton. Power plays Dallas 2 for 3. Edmonton did not have a power play. The hits 22-12 for Edmonton. Ottinger 22 saves on 27 shots. Skinner 22 saves on 26 shots. If these teams meet in the playoffs, could be a fun playoff. All right, next up, the Islanders and San Jose. So the last game to review before we talk about tomorrow's games. Sorokin versus Georgiev. There's an early press by the Sharks. In fact, a minute and a half in, the shots are already 5-0 for San Jose. Yeah, this was the Sorokin show in the first period. We get a power play for the Sharks. That's killed off, but 6 minutes into the period, the shots are 9-1 for the San Jose Sharks. Sharks press at 7 minutes. Celebrini to Grunstrom. That play at the net gets blocked. We then get a power play for the Islanders. And at 10:43, Anthony Duclair scores. So the Islanders have been outplayed the whole way, and they're ahead. Holmstrom and Dobson with the assist there. The Islanders go back to the power play during that one. Horvat's denied from the slot. That power play's killed off. Shots are 18-5 for San Jose with 5.5 minutes left. Celebrini has a 3-on-2 chance that's held. The Islanders press in the final minute. And at 19:21, Pajot roofs one glove side to make it 2-0 Islanders, which is baffling if you watch the game. Dobson and Pelech with the assists, because coming out of that period, San Jose dominated, but the Islanders are up 2-0. Second period, early press by the Islanders. Pajot fires one wide on a turnover. The shots are 4-0 for the Islanders at 3.5 minutes. The Islanders press at 4 minutes. We then get a power play for the Sharks, and they score on it. At 6:27, Kovalenko puts one past a screen about a second before that power play was done. Mahatmadulin and Celebrini with the assists. So Mahatmadulin on the board yet again. Shots are 10-4 for the Islanders at 8.5 minutes. So a bit of a reverse from the first period where now San Jose is being outplayed, but they're getting a goal in this period. Fans call one, the referee does not. Sharks press with 8 minutes left. Lee has a sharp angle shot that's held, but Georgiev was in the net, suspiciously in the net on that once the play was whistled down. But it's reviewed and shown that the glove was held out of the net, I guess, or wasn't conclusive that it was in. Either way, puck does not cross the line. Some of that going on tonight, wasn't there? The Islanders press with 3 minutes left, but they are still up 2-1 after 2 periods of play. Third period, the Islanders came out with the early jump. They clearly wanted this, and on a face-off win, Lee buries one at 1:13 to make it 3-1. We then get a power play for the Islanders, and at 3:51, Adam Boquist with his first power play goal of the season. This one's passed to screen. Pajot and D'Angelo with the assists. It's 4-1 for the New York Islanders. Islanders press for another. The shots are 7-1 New York at 8 minutes. The Sharks then draw a power play. That's killed off. The Islanders press with 8 minutes left. We get a power play for the Islanders. That's killed off, but it takes 2 minutes off the clock. With 2:14 left, the Sharks get a power play, so they figure, what the heck, we'll pull the goaltender. And Will Smith scores on that power play at 18:33 from Celebrini and Wenberg. So Celebrini with a couple of helpers tonight. And even though they pulled the goaltender again, that's as close as San Jose would get. The Islanders win 4-2. They go to 29, 26, and 7 with the win. With the loss, San Jose 17, 39, and 9 on the season. Shots on net, 20-8 San Jose in the first, 13-9 Islanders in the second, 11-7 San Jose in the third. The Sharks outshoot the Islanders 40-28 in this one. Power plays, both teams go 2 for 4. The hits, 26-14 San Jose. Sorokin saves 38 out of 40. He was fantastic. Georgiev, 24 saves on 28 shots. All right, tomorrow's preview is here. 8 games. 8 games on Sunday. It's going to be hockey all day, thus the preview being thrown in here. And there wasn't really anything for news video today because the trade deadline's done. The news really slows down after the trade deadline. So we have a game starting at 1 o'clock Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific. It is New Jersey in Philadelphia. New Jersey needs this. They desperately need it. They're 33-25-6. They're 4-6 over their last 10. Philadelphia 27-29-8. They're 4-4-2 over their last 10. They're trending in the wrong direction. Then at 3:30 Eastern, 12:30 p.m. Pacific, the Seattle Kraken in against Washington. Seattle 27-33-4, coming off of a 4-1 win today in Philadelphia. They're 4-5-1 in their last 10. Washington 41-14-8 overall. They're 6-3-1 in their last 10 games. Then also at 3:30 Eastern, 12:30 Pacific, the Pittsburgh Penguins in Minnesota against the Wild. And I don't know that I'm going to be able to do like a review of matinee games before the others. Pittsburgh 24-31-10 overall. They're 2-7-1 in their last 10 games, and they've sold off. But remember what Boston did today. The pressure's off Boston. So Minnesota, there's some pressure there. They're 36-23-4. I don't have their last 10 up there. I think they're like 4-6 in their last 10, maybe 5-5. But Minnesota needs this because Colorado's pulling away. They do not want to be a wild card team and have to play one of the division winners, very likely the division winner in the Pacific. And I mean, it's leaning towards Vegas. I don't think Minnesota wants Vegas in the first round. Not that I mean, who does Minnesota want in the first round? Anyways, whole other conversation for another time. 5 o'clock Eastern, 2 o'clock Pacific. Winnipeg's in Carolina. This could be a fun one. Winnipeg, 44-16-4 overall. They're 7-2-1 in their last 10. Carolina, 37-22-4 on the season. They're 5-5 in their last 10. Now that the deadline's done, we'll see how Carolina does. And they'll have Stankoven in the lineup as well. Then at 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific, the Columbus Blue Jackets in New York against the Rangers. This is a huge game for both teams. This could be game of the day material. Columbus 30-24-8 overall. They're 4-5-1 in their last 10, and they're on the road. They do not play overly well on the road. The Rangers 31-26-6. They're 5-3-2 in their last 10. They've lost 2 in extra time in their most recent contest. They want to turn that around. And poor Columbus is lined up for this one, aren't they? Then at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific, the LA Kings in Vegas against the Vegas Golden Knights. The Kings 32-20-9 with tonight's win over St. Louis. They are 4-3-3 in their last 10, but they don't play well on the road. It's the second half of a back-to-back. Vegas is at home. Vegas 38-18-6 overall. They're 7-3 over their last 10 games. Then at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific, we have 2 games starting then, meaning it'll be at least an early ending for tomorrow's hockey all day. Dallas is now 41-20-2 with the loss they suffered tonight. 7-2-1 in their last 10. You have to think the Smiths going to play in this one against the Vancouver team that's 29-22-11. They are 6-4 in their last 10 games, and Vancouver looking to win tomorrow to jump past Calgary again and to put some space between themselves and Utah and St. Louis as well. Also at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific, the New York Islanders coming off their win over San Jose. Now they got Anaheim, so that's a winnable game. We'll see how they do. The Islanders 29-26-7 overall. They're 5-5 in their last 10 games. Whereas Anaheim 27-28-7 overall. They're 5-4-1 in their last 10 games, but they seem to be trending in the wrong direction again. So there you go. Let me know your winners in the comment section below for tomorrow's games. Let me know your thoughts regarding tonight's games as well. Thank you guys so much for all your support as always. I will talk to you again soon.